Subscribe to the channel. This is Kimi. Welcome back. Doing my research. So they got something a little bit more deeper than the dark web, So you got to have that onion, saying, as far as like to get on the website, you got to dark web, you got to have that onion, saying app, and it's deep, And trust me, no, I'm not on that. I'm not on the web. I'm not on no dark web. But they got another one coming out. That's a little bit more deeper. Check this out. Subscribe to the channel. Kimi.
Has been subject to the same ridicule that you guys have on social media, or
we're subject to ridicule?
You tell me. I mean, I went to pull up the Babylon Bee, and it asked me if I was going to a dangerous site. So,
did it really? Yeah, we get a little bit of that. They have been they've been targeted with some criticism. They do get fact checked some, the way that we've been fact checked. I think, look, it's you see the same kind of bias at play here with comedy that you see in every area of life. It's the mainstream media is really friendly to sources that agree with them, and I think the Onion is. This is one of the topics we discussed in our interview with Elon Musk. He was talking about the Onion and how it's further left than we are right. It's very politically correct. Very politically correct. They hit all the jokes from the angle that you would expect them to hit them from.
More so today than it wasn't that way when it first started. They were a lot of speaking truth to power. I mean, the whole concept of comedy, for people that don't know, I mean, if you find yourself agreeing with the establishment as a comedian, you're a bad comedian. The idea of speaking truth to power, if people don't know who Lenny Bruce is, Lenny Bruce spent half of his career in jail for refusing to
for just cursing at that point.
Yeah, for lewd and fastidious behavior, talking
in the
about
50s,
sex.
Though, so that was very counterculture at that point.
But dude, before I left New York, man, I saw the tides turning, and I was like, man, this is not about being funny. This is about being on message. And then you saw people that were getting, fast tracked. I'm not going to name names. You can really easily Google them and remember who they are. Their careers were getting fast. They were doing mics at the Village Lantern, and the next thing you know, they had Netflix specials because they were on message. And it was like, they're skipping 10 years here.
Well, now you got people like Chappelle who are doing Netflix specials and taking a lot of heat for it because they step outside the bounds of what they're supposed to be joking about, right? And I think that's what comedians should be doing. I think they should be making those jokes that nobody wants you to make.
Yeah.
And if you're censoring yourself,
no, but he's not. But the highest form of the art, he's right though. The highest form of the art is saying things people don't want to hear in a way they can't stop listening.
Well, you might have texted what Steve Harvey had to say. Was that you? Was that you?
Yeah.
He basically saying Chappelle's the only person that can do this. Any person out there other than speaking of himself, he was talking about D.L. Hughley or Cedric the Entertainer or Kevin Hart. Exactly.
I will do one more special, and that's when I'm done with my
because
career.
they're all reliant on sponsors.
Steve Harvey.
What's his point with that?
Steve goes, I'm gonna let it fly, and then I'm gonna go away. Yeah,
he can't do it right now because he's still trying to do stuff. So he's saying later on.
Yeah,
okay.
But his whole point was, despite all the success I've had, despite all the money, despite all the power, despite all the fame, I'm beholden to sponsors.
Exactly. And where Chappelle has subscription with Netflix.
Exactly.
So Netflix is probably going to go after more comedians.
Look at Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon's the guy. Tim Dillon is a guy that
no relation to Seth or what?
No relation to Seth. Tim Dillon. Rogan on in a certain way. I mean, these
Marcelo
guys,
opens for him.
You make yourself uncancelable by insulating it. But at the end of the day, it's the marketplace. If 90,000 people are willing to pay $4.99 a month for Tim Dillon, then all the sponsors can shove. He can say whatever he wants to say. Those people are supporting him.
it's one of the ways that we're independent is because we have a subscription platform. People can subscribe to support us, and so we don't have to worry so much about. And this is the reason we launched it in the first place, is because we were worried we were getting fact checked on Facebook like crazy. They're rating our jokes false. They're giving our jokes a truth rating.
Yeah.
And then telling us jokes.
The whole point of jokes is they're supposed to be a little.
Have you ever gone down?
They don't have a truth rating. They're funny or they're not. They're not true or false.
Have you ever gone down the rabbit hole with who's fact checking you? Because I got demonetized on Facebook, and I went down the rabbit hole and was looking at who fact checked me, and you end up looking at it's like some bot out in Singapore that has no existence. It's like this person, and it's just an opinion. This person says that what you're saying is false. I was like, it's satire.
Well, we found some of them. So I'll give you an example of one. We did a story on how Ruth Bader Ginsburg the Ninth Circuit Court had overturned the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That was the headline, right? And it's kind of a silly, absurd headline. Obviously,